All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here in my garage. This is kind of my den here in Arizona where I do a lot of my work on tackle and stuff. I do my podcast in here. This is where I spend a lot of my time hanging out. It's my man cave. And actually just got a new shipment of baits and stuff like that from Pure Fishing, from Berkley, from Abu Garcia. So it's been kind of a weird year it's been a weird few years as everyone knows. Things have not come easy in any way for anybody. And even when it comes to getting tackle, just because there's been so many issues with the supply chain, stuff's been back ordered, and in some cases we've had what we needed, but in other cases we've had to make, some older stuff work when we're on the tournament trail. Thankfully, things seem to be getting pretty caught up, and I actually just received my first shipment of Berkley stuff from them this year. So that's a good thing. I'm excited about it. We've got a lot of new stuff in this box, and I just want to show you guys what a general order looks like for me. As a pro fisherman that's going to all these different lakes around the entire country, I've got a wide variety of stuff in here. And I just want to kind of show you some of the things that I order to get me through a tournament season. So this is a very general overview, and I'll talk about the specific baits and when I'm going to use them in specific areas. But some of this stuff is general. It's like, hey, if I'm going to throw a shaky head, this is the size shaky head I'm going to order to use almost all around the country. So let's get into it. Before that, though, if you're liking what you're seeing in these videos and you want more, please like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you're liking, what you would like to see different. I'm wide open on this type of stuff. I'm still really new to YouTube. So please do that for me if you can, and let's get into it. Here we go. So I've got a box here. It's got a mix of both soft and hard baits. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the ground here. And we're sitting here. It's May. There's no better bait in the spring, post-spawn, spawn than a Berkley General. So I've got Baby Bass Color for extremely clear water, 5-inch Max Scent General. And then I've got Green Pumpkin. It's kind of an all-purpose. Green Pumpkin works everywhere. But as that water gets a little bit dirtier, Green Pumpkin's great. I've got plenty of black and blues, so I didn't need to order that. And those are really the three colors. As far as like a weightless stickworm, those are the three colors. I use 5-inch most of the time. Sometimes I'm going to go to a 6-inch. If I'm on a body of water that's got big Florida strain fish, maybe if I'm flipping it on a Texas rig, and then I'll go down to a 4-inch when I'm around a lot of spots and smallies. But that 5-inch is typically what I'm going to throw, and I can throw it a lot of different ways. While we're talking about the soft baits, let's see what else. We've got some Chigger Bugs. This is watermelon, copper, orange, red. That Chigger Bug is kind of a crawfish looking. It's similar to a chigger craw, but it's got curly tails on the back of it. I'll pull one out here. I didn't pull the general out because that Max Scent is going to make my hand stink too much, but that's the Chigger Bug right there. And I use this as a jig trailer. So it's for me anyways, it's not the most versatile bait, but it's amazing at what I like to do with it. I throw this thing on the back of a swim jig, and this color right here, it looks a lot like a brim. So if I'm fishing somewhere, throwing a brim-colored swim jig, this is what I'm doing. A lot of times it's like a 1/2-ounce Bobby Lane swim jig, 50-pound braid, heavy line, and that's something that I'm going to utilize fishing shallow water, fishing around heavy cover. Another just total random nugget that I ordered a bunch of these 3-inch Gulp Minnows. Everyone knows about the Max Scent Flatworm, how good it is. This is still in my arsenal when I smallmouth fish. And we're going smallmouth fishing. We got a couple tournaments up north this summer. Mille Lacs, Cayuga. Cayuga will be a mix of largemouth and smallies, but especially Mille Lacs, this is a really good way to catch them when the smallmouth get a little bit finicky. I'm going to use it on a drop shot. And the 3-inch size emerald shiner, that's kind of all you need. As far as the Gulp Minnows go, the smelt's a really good color too. But that 3-inch emerald shiner, if I could only have one, this is it. I ordered a bunch of bags of those. Another thing that I'm going to use up north is this Boss Grub. Skeet Reese designed this thing. It's made in power bait. Skeet designed this not too long ago. This is a 4-inch size. I think we make it in a 3 and a 4-inch, but this is the 4-inch, and it's Junebug red. I'm going to use this on the back of a swim jig as well. When we go up north, you get into, when you're in the smallmouth, the largemouth areas, the water sometimes, even though it's clear, it's got kind of a tannic look, and there's no better color than June bug in tannic looking water. So keep that in mind. If you ever fish tannic looking water, be on the lookout for June bug, and this boss grub has a lot of really good action. You can rig it vertically like this on your swim jig, so your tails are going to be basically making the shape of a fishtail rather than horizontally where it's just going to be kind of flat. I like to rig it vertically like this, and it looks like a fishtail swimming behind that swim jig. See what else we got here. Looking for something different. I've got a lot of duplicates of the same stuff. Like you say, I got a lot of these generals. I've got probably 10 bags of each color here. That may have been it for soft baits. I'm pretty well stocked up in the soft bait department. Let's move it over to the hard baits here. This is the Chopo. We're getting into topwater season. This is the Justin Lucas designed Chopo 105. And we've got the HD blueback herring color here. These HD colors are unbelievable. You can see it looks just really realistic. I'll hold it right up next to the camera there. Super realistic looking. The 105 is our in-between size. So, if you're fishing really shallow, calm water, maybe river stuff like that, we make a 90 size that's really good. And then if it's the opposite, if you're out on a lake like Toledo Bend or something like that, you're trying to call up big fish, maybe it's a little choppy, we make a 120. But the Chopo and the 105 it's the medium size, and to me it's the perfect size. I'm going to throw this size most of the time. We make a black, that's a really good one. We make a bone color, that's a good one. And then this HD, it's new, and I wanted to try it. I guarantee it's going to be really good, but I haven't had the chance to throw this color yet. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a regular in my arsenal. I bought some dredgers here. We've got the 25.5, the 20.5. We're getting into deep cranking season as well. And, dirtier water, I'm going to want to throw this blue chartreuse color. I've got this shad color here. It's called Chameleon Pearl. This Chameleon Pearl might be my favorite dredger color. What makes the dredger so good over other crankbaits, especially other deep crankbaits, is the depth that it dives for its size. Like, this is a 20-foot diver, and it's not that big. You can see it's got this flash disc in the front of it, right in the front of the bill there. And what that does is it changes the pitch of the bait. You make your long cast with your crankbait, and when it lands, it's just floating like this. Well, because of this disc, it lands in the water, and it's automatically sitting like this. So your first crank of the reel handle, it's already diving down. It helps it get to that depth a little bit quicker. And to me anyways, if you can get a crankbait that's going to dive as deep as another crankbait in a smaller profile, it's going to get more bites. Fish aren't used to seeing a small bait that deep. And another thing I love about these baits is they come with the Fusion hooks. If you haven't used Fusion 19 hooks, you're definitely missing out. They are so sharp and so strong. Their hook points don't roll. So sometimes with some of the really sharp hooks on the market, they're really sharp. But when you pull them into a really big fish that has a really hard mouth, the hook point will roll. That's not going to happen with these. They are very, very durable hook points. And deep cranking, you're grinding them into rocks and shell beds all the time. So you don't have to replace the hooks on these. This bait is ready to go. They are tuned really well out of the package. I don't think I've ever had to tune a dredger, which is for a deep crankbait. Having them tuned right and running straight is a really big deal. I never even have to worry about or mess with it. So ordered a bunch of dredgers. Let's see if I ordered any other sizes or colors. I ordered a couple HDs. This is the HD bluegill. This is the 17.5 size, so a little bit smaller, but I ordered these for Lake Mead this fall for the U.S. Open. In some of the deeper grass patches and stuff around that lake, you have a lot of bluegill. So already thinking ahead to that. And, when I get a tournament coming up 5, 6, 7 months out, I like to order baits now because, again, with the supply chain, if you wait till the month before, you don't know if they're going to be available or not. So got a bunch of these dredgers, more Chameleon Pearl. The square bowl has been really popular this year. This is a bait that it's been out for 6 or 7 years since Berkley started making hard baits, but there's been kind of a resurgence to it, and it's been hard to find. So anytime these are in stock, I'm always ordering these. This is a good little dirty water color here. It's spring craw. I may not be throwing the spring craw in this bait for the next few months, but again, I'm ordering them for when I do get into that dirty water situation. It's an awesome square bill, and that's an awesome color, so I just want to have them on hand. Everyone has been talking about the Stunna. This is our new jerk bait designed by Hank Cherry. We make it in a couple different diving depths. We've got a regular and then we've got a deep diver. This is the Stealth Shad, probably the #1 color in the line. There's a lot of good colors, but the Stealth Shad is kind of the color that if you're in relatively clear water and you don't know what to throw, you can't beat Stealth Shad. I think I ordered 4 in the Stealth Shad in the regular diving depth. And let's see, I've got a couple other colors as well. Here's a dirty water color called Hanky Panky. It's like a bone color. It's going to catch them really good in dirtier water. Also on cloudy days. You know, it's going to be a really good cloudy day color. Here's some more Hanky Pankies. It's weird to say that. Here's a gold color right here. Just black gold. Same thing, dirty water. It works really good in tannic water or cloudy days. I like this color down in Florida. I don't have anything coming up in Florida, but I'll be ready when we do get down there. Let's see if I've got any more stuff. Yeah, this is a really good color right here, guys. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Shad Fillet. It's a shad color, but it's actually got a chartreuse belly. So that chartreuse belly, you get around smallmouth, and they hate chartreuse and love chartreuse at the same time. They hate it like they want to kill it, but they love it because they want to eat it. So this is a color I'll be using in these next couple northern tournaments for sure. And then I always say, like, the most boring part of any tackle order is always like your terminal tackle and your line, right? It's fun to have these cool looking hard baits and go through them. Look at, they just catch the eye a lot more. But terminal tackle is really important. If you're not using the right hooks, the weights, the line, you're going to catch a lot less fish. So I've got some terminal stuff here. I've got some shaky heads. These are 1/4 ounce 3/0 hook Fusion 19 shaky heads. This is a great shaky head because it doesn't have a screw lock. It actually, you're going to rig it basically Texas style on the shank of the hook. And there's been a lot of thought that's gone into these things about having the right design on the eye of the hook so it doesn't snag, the right angle, obviously the right size hook, the right diameter in the hook. So again, you can buy this thing and not think about it. Just buy it, go throw it. I ordered a bunch of 1/4 ounce and a bunch of 3/16 ounce heads. Occasionally I'll use different sizes, but I usually start at 3/16. If it's really windy or really deep, I'll go to a 1/4 ounce. Also, when I'm guiding, this is a really good bait, really good rig to use guiding, shaky head, just because it's easy to use. And when I have clients that aren't really experienced fishermen, I go to that 1/4 ounce. It's just easier for them to keep it on the bottom, a little bit more forgiving. But personally, me, I like that 3/16 a little bit more. I feel like it looks more natural, gets more bites. Just some hooks here. These are 3/0 offset hooks. So I was kind of running low on these. So I like to have, every size hook, I like to have at least 10 of those hooks in the boat at all times. So you can see behind me, I got some stuff on the wall. Stuff will live up there until my inventory gets low on the boat. And then I'm going to replace the inventory on the boat. And then these hooks will go back up on the wall to replace the inventory at home. So, you have a good couple days of fishing, or you have a bad couple of days of fishing and you're breaking off a lot of baits, you're snagging a lot. Having at least 10 hooks in the boat is really important. So 10 in each size, that's really critical. So reloading on hooks, like I said, that's kind of boring. More boring stuff, but boring but critical is going to be line. I've just got some filler spools here of Trilene 100% fluorocarbon. These filler spools are great to put in the boat. I use them for leader material, but also in emergencies when you may get a backlash, something happens. Sometimes you get your bait snagged and you go to pull it off, it doesn't want to break off, and you have to pull really hard and it actually damages your line all the way down into the spool. I like to have these filler spools on the boat so I can just spool them back up in an emergency. And then again, like I said, for leader. So here's an 8 pound, there's a 10 pound. Those are just going to go live in the boat right now. And man, I think that's about it. Let's see what else I've got. I've got a couple swing heads here. These I'm going to be using up at Mille Lacs. These are pretty cool. These are Berkley Fusion 19 swing heads. Almost like it's like a cross between a jig and a crankbait. You're going to use a creature bait on that, cast it out, reel it really slow, and then just let the fish load up on it. So just a real wide variety on stuff in this order, but it's stuff that I needed. It's stuff that I'll be able to use for the rest of the year, and hopefully catch some fish on all of it. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. It's the first unboxing I ever did, so I'll do more if you guys like it. If it was boring, tell me and I won't do any more. I've got a lot of other stuff coming up on the channel. So again, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. You can find me on my other channels as well, Facebook, Instagram, and on my podcast at Anglers Happy Hour, where it's much less serious there. We pretty much just talk smack to each other on that. But if you're a fisherman and you like smack talk, you might like it. So Anglers Happy Hour there, and thanks again for watching, guys.